Same day, different video. One of my favorite things about going back to school when I was a kid was back to school shopping. We didn't spend a lot on clothes. That usually wasn't part of the experience with a few exceptions, but going back and getting school supplies and seeing all the pens and pencils and erasers in their neat little plastic packages with my brand new pencil box. I was a bit of a geek when I was a kid, which is fine. I loved that. And so I've got a whole bunch of stuff at home already, pens and pencils and highlighters and rulers. I couldn't quite resist doing some back to school shopping. And as I've been looking around YouTube for the last few days, looking at people's videos, mainly I've been searching for college tips, study tips, school supplies, that sort of thing. I want to make sure there's not something really stupid and obvious that I'm forgetting. I've noticed that there are quite a few what's in my school bag type videos, so I figured I'd do one of those too, just for fun, just to look back on and see how close I was to the mark and what I missed. So I'm going to show you what's in my school bag. The obvious first thing is the school bag itself. Now, my birthday was a few months ago, and my parents got me a gift card for a local electronics shop because they thought that that would probably help with things, unexpected costs for school. Not sure how it'll play, but we'll see, and it's always useful to have, even if it's just for buying printer ink and CDs and that sort of thing. But one of the things that I did need was a good backpack. I've got my old college backpack, but it's been my gig bag for the last 10 years, and it is toast. In fact, I just pulled it out of storage yesterday, and it's developed some sort of mildew on the bottom, and it is now sitting in the dumpster out in the backyard. So, new backpack it was. I looked at what they had available at the store. I looked around online, looked for ones that had good reviews, and ended up picking the one which I will show you next. Now, the first thing I noticed when it came into my house is it's huge. It doesn't fit on the camera. It is as big as I am, basically. So that's the backpack. Now, it does have some really cool features, and I think aside from the fact that I could almost fit in this bag, that I will really enjoy it. Now, the first one that's awesome, because I live on the coast and it rains, is it has at the bottom a built-in rain cover. I don't know why I'm showing this to you. It looks like black nothing. It's a Targus bag. But this fits over top of the backpack so that when I'm walking to school or waiting for the bus in the rain, everything inside is not going to get drenched. I was going to buy a rain cover anyway, but the fact that this zips up into the bottom and is always safe and secure is awesome. It also has a little phone pouch on the handle. It also has a waist strap. I figure when I'm done school, this could be a great hiking bag. On the side, there is a holder for a water bottle and a zipper pocket. On the other side, there's another water bottle holder, different style, and another zipper pocket. You can't see any of this. It's black. The contrast is terrible. It's got a couple of loops on the front. I've never really figured out what these are for. You know, the little pen-sized loops, but you wouldn't really put a pen in because they'd fall out. But there's those loops on the front. Inside, it's just your typical lots of pockets. It's got a CD insert thingy. You can't tell. It holds 5 CDs and fits in there. It's got all the normal little pockets and compartments and a place for your laptop and a place for your MP3 player. What it has that is really cool, I think, is this insulated front pocket for lunches, which is actually really deep. Like, it pretty much fits my whole forearm. I think that'll hold a few pieces of fruit and a sandwich and maybe another sandwich. I don't know. I haven't tested out the capacity because it's just been sitting in the corner. Trying not to let it collect too much dust. But yeah, that's the backpack. I think there might be a chance that I'm just going to go to the messenger bag. But I've got quite a few days where I've got 4 classes. And so the fact that that thing is huge when I'm carrying around textbooks for 4 classes will probably actually end up being fantastic. All right, there's the backpack. Project next, the laptop. Should I show you the laptop? This is my laptop. It is little and it was cheap, and I got it at a refurbished laptop place a few years ago, and it's done me well so far. If it gets through the next few years, though, I am going to be beyond impressed. That may or may not travel with me in my backpack. I haven't decided yet. There's a space for it. I've got a case for it. I don't think I'll bring it for the first few classes. I'll see if it looks like something that'll be useful. But there's the laptop. I have a binder I don't expect I'm going to carry it to school. This is, again, my old college binder. I just never got rid of it. It's Mead. They're indestructible, these things. I sound like a walking advertisement, but seriously, I've used this a ton, and nothing's wrong with it. Except that, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, it has flaps for floppy disks. This binder is so old that it has specialized flaps for floppy disks. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I suspect I'll probably keep the binder at home and keep projects in it there. And when I am at school, what I plan on using, again, it's Mead, because I trust them not to fall apart. This is just plain 5-subject spiral binder. I think it's 200 pages per subject. And the really cool thing about this is it's hole punched. It's not just hole punch, but each page is perforated down the edge, so when I'm done writing notes, if I don't want to keep them up here, if I want to transfer them to the binder, I just tear them off, put them into the binder. They're a regular sheet of paper. I think that's brilliant. I've got a few other little cheaper notebooks that have perforated pages, and I love them. I think that's one of the best inventions ever. Boring stuff, little binder inserts. They're just plastic sleeves. They hold pages and junk, things that aren't hole punch. I don't feel like carrying a hole punch around with me. I've got one at home, but I don't want to carry it with me to school. And then I've got dividers. They were relatively cheap. They're contrasting colors. I'm only doing 4 courses this year. I'm doing history, French, English, and chemistry. I feel like that's a pretty good course load for having not been in school at all in 10 years. So 4 courses it is. I also got a couple of binder covers, or report covers. I don't know how useful they're going to be, but they were cheap, and if I don't use them for school, I'll use them for something else. I'm sure I'll use them for school. I have no idea. They seemed like a good idea. I have pens. Did I mention I have pens? I'm also a stationery addict, and these pens have fun little gel, and I tend to hold pens with a death grip, so that should avoid me getting the lovely little middle finger callus that I usually get when I'm doing a lot of writing. They're also smoother than the smoothest, according to Bic. I haven't pulled them out of the case. As you can see, I haven't tested them yet because, as I mentioned, I like the look of all the little cases wrapped in their little plastic, and they all look so clean and pretty, and apparently that part of me has never died. Got a couple of mechanical pencils. I have mechanical pencils, but they're cheap and they always snap the lead, and I'm hoping that investing in an actual brand of mechanical pencil and not the cute ones that I found at the dollar store will help. These come with refill erasers. And that's that. That's pretty boring. Highlighters I already had, so they're not in a fancy case. I'm thinking 4 colors. I have no idea. I haven't used highlighters for any sort of study applications in ages and ages. I didn't even use them all that much when I was in college the first time, so I'm not sure how much use I'm going to get out of them, but every video I've seen says highlighters. We love highlighters. Highlighters save the day, so what the heck, I've got highlighters, I'll throw them in the bag. And same thing with Post-its. Post-its I know I will use. I am a Post-it junkie. These I did not have to buy. I also did not have to buy these. I also did not have to buy these. And I didn't have to buy these. And I didn't have to buy these. You get the picture. I have Post-its galore. But this is the set that I think will go in my bag, and then I'll come and Post-it it up when I bring things home. Speaking of pens, I picked this up yesterday. It's one of those just, you know, the boring basic 4-color pens that they've had since as long as I've been old enough to know pens. Ruler, because if you gotta draw lines, you need a ruler. I can't draw a straight line to save my life. I swear if somebody put a gun, well, if somebody put a gun to my head, I'd be shaking so hard I wouldn't be able to draw a straight line. But if it was, you know, some challenge where you can't proceed to the next challenge until you draw a straight line, I'd be there forever. I can't do it. So ruler it is. And then this is the final thing. And because I've got pens, you need whiteout. I've used this once or twice. I'm going to have to buy more because I don't think the whiteout is going to stay very long. I can't really tell how thick a reel it is because it's covered up. This is a Staples brand. It's a Staples brand Oops pen, and what it is it is a clickable whiteout pen. I love it. I love it. As I said, I've used it only a couple of times. It's got a little metal roller there, plastic with that whiteout, the instant dry stuff, and it's brilliant. It's also got a weird little rubber thing on the top. I'm not sure why. Anyway, if you see these, I picked this up on a whim when I was doing some supply shopping to restock for a dance show that I was stage managing a little while ago, and they had 2 of them in a pack on sale, and I gave the other one away to my assistant stage manager and kept this one, and I wish I'd bought more because I love it. It's easy to hold because it's a pen, and the fact that it clicks. I have a couple of clickable Sharpie markers, and they're not really any better than a regular Sharpie marker, but the fact that they click, I love it, but I don't know what it is. It's some compulsion of mine. If you want to sell me something, make it clickable, and I'll probably buy it. So anyway, that's 2 other little things that I just about forgot. This is my old pencil case. It clips into the binder, which is kind of cool. And it's got one outside pocket that I used to throw erasers and post-its and stuff into, and then of course it zips open when you throw all your pens and crap in there. I don't know if I'll use it, but I'm going to throw it in there just in case. May or may not come in useful. I've also got places for pens in the backpack itself, so might not use that. And then can't do college without a planner. I can't do anything without a planner. I've been using Google Calendar for the last few years because I've been working at a desk, and it's okay, it's fine, but half the time I'm printing the pages off and I'm tucking them into notebooks, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. So I haven't had an actual physical planner in a few years, but I saw this. It was in Chapters the other day. It was $12, I think, which isn't cheap, but it's not terribly expensive. It's just your basic weekly calendar, but it starts at the end of this month. Doesn't have a whole bunch of room for notes, but enough for me to record homework assignments, and I'll probably end up gluing my schedule somewhere, maybe in the inside cover or something. I've got spray-on adhesive, which I think peels off, and if not, I'll just glue on over top. It's got some spots for addresses, not terribly exciting, and then some spots for notes at the back, so that's what's in my backpack for now, and we'll see how much that changes by the time this is all done.